So I'm teaching class last night, and I get a question about blinking. Most of you probably know blinking on camera is bad. Blinking makes you seem untrustworthy, nervous, and we don't believe most of what you're saying. So I told a story. That's how I teach. I tell stories. In this one I had to name drop. I told about the time that I was coaching a TV show, and I was coaching an actor named Jason Momoa. On this day, he was kind of in a grumpy mood. So we're shooting this scene. I went in after the first take and I said, "Hey, Jason," as I always do when I give actors notes on set, say it very, very quietly. "Hey, Jason, you were blinking a lot in that take." He looked at me and he said, "I don't blink," really loud. Everybody on set kind of turned and looked over at me. And he had a fair point, because he really didn't ever blink. I never gave him that note before. He had never had a problem with that. But I said, "Well, you were blinking this time." And he said, "I don't blink." Pissy. Okay, all right, whatever. And I stepped out for take two. They do take two. Soon as they cut, he looks over at me and he's like, "Well, did I blink?" "No, that was beautiful." He goes, "I don't blink." Okay, fast forward to tomorrow. I go to his trailer and I knock on the door and I say, as I often did, "Hey, Mo." And he, dog hair, sorry. And he invited me in. He wasn't mad anymore or grumpy. I put in a DVD and I said, "I want to show you this." It was the dailies from the day before. He took about 3 or 4 seconds and then he looked over at me and he said, "I'm blinking." Exactly. Okay, so the point was, he never blinked. It was not a problem he normally had. However, he had been out late the night before. I actually started the evening with him. We went out for some beers. I went home because I knew I had an early call the next day. Jason didn't go home. He kept partying. He knew where the trailers were going to be for the next day's shoot. So he broke into his trailer. Now, if he ever hears this, you go ahead and deny it, Jason, but you know you can't. And he slept in the trailer that night so he wouldn't be late for the next day's call. He was dehydrated and exhausted, and that contributed to his blinking. And so even people that don't blink should know circumstances can cause you to blink. Lesson is, when you work on camera, don't blink.